It's time to create your future by design, not default. This is Practical Change, the podcast for midlife lesbians, where we focus on relationships, work, health, and more. With your host, certified professional coach, Claire Baker of practicalchangecoaching.com.
Hello. Welcome to the podcast, Practical Change for Midlife Lesbians. I'm Claire Baker. I am, here in the home studio, as high-tech as it gets for podcasting. Maybe you're new to the podcast. If so, welcome. I've had a number of people find me on TikTok lately. So if you're coming over from TikTok, I hope you enjoy. Happy to see you. Happy to visit with you. And if you're on any social media and you want to follow me, I'm on all the channels. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Twitter. I'm not active on Twitter. I'm not on all the social medias. Don't look for me on Twitter. Well, you can look for me. You'll find a handle, but I don't say anything over there. I got my reasons. Today, I want to talk about something that I'm a little nervous about, to be honest, and I share it in the spirit of connecting and finding other people for whom this might also be a thing. I have persistent depressive disorder. It's also called dysthymia, and I've probably had it forever. It's there's those times when you can remember even way back when things weren't so great. Some people describe it as kind of Eeyore. I don't think I'm Eeyore. I think that's a little too. Eeyore is just unrelentingly depressed, and maybe I'm unrelentingly depressed, but hopefully I don't comport myself in an Eeyore sort of way. So maybe that's why I resist the Eeyore. But really, and it's persistent depressive disorder is the latest name, and it had been known for a long time as dysthymia, which was also kind of a new term for me. I didn't know about the term dysthymia. I had always just called it low-grade BS depression, always kind of there. I've also had episodes of major depression, which are horrible. And in some ways, it's, the kind of the comparison. If you're somebody who has low-grade BS depression or persistent depressive disorder or dysthymia, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like things are just not awesome. Things, you feel like this should be funner. This is, what's happening I should appreciate it more. All of the shoulds and all of the stuff that we layer on our brains when we aren't the way we want to be. And major depression, is different. It's falling off a cliff. It's no way out, of debilitating. And I'm not a psychiatrist, and I'm not a psychologist. So if these are issues for you, I urge you to get the right kind of help. A lot of people do come for coaching when they're stuck. They don't know how to move forward. And sometimes there's some of this other stuff going on. I just don't know why I can't make myself fill in the blank. I guess I don't want it enough, or I guess I'm not disciplined enough. And it kind of comes back to that. And so I just want to note that, persistent depressive disorder, it's one of those things where you don't really want somebody to just tell you to get over it, because that doesn't work. That's, it's pretty insulting, actually. Looking at the causes of persistent depressive disorder, it looks like it's generational. I don't want to say genetic, really. Generational. My mom was, I don't know if I would have called her persistent depressive disorder. I would definitely have called her depressed most of my life. Could be early trauma. Could be, it seems to appear in early adolescence. There's a lot of, hormonal fun going on at that time. It's also a time when we in the LGBTQ plus community might be most at risk for struggling with, coming to terms, or deciding not to come out or whatever. And in fact, if you do any research on mental health and the LGBTQ community, you'll see that the lesbian and bisexual woman community are at greater risk for mood disorders, and this kind of goes in there. So it could be connected all to the lack of acceptance of our sexuality in society or within ourselves or within our homes. It's, you know, a kind of a constant battle, perhaps, that we had to manage, and maybe that contributed. So I was doing a lot of thinking about persistent depressive disorder recently, and realized that it was actually just, I was sort of magnifying it rather than, you know, just moving along with my day. And I happened upon an analogy, because I do like a good analogy, and I'm a nerd, so bear with me. The physiology of the human eye is that the place where we see the most clearly is right in this kind of the center. It's called the fovea centralis, central focus. And it's where we have our color receptors. They're called cones. So we have cones in our eye, and that's why we can look right at something and see it in vivid detail, and it gives us the ability to read and see things clearly. In low light, when it's kind of dark or dark, the cones don't fire. They need light to fire. So that's why, you know, in the dark, you don't see color, because your eyeball just doesn't have the ability to see it. It's not like anything isn't really red at night. It's just you can't see red because your eyeballs don't work like that. But you can see in low light because we have another structure in our eye called rods. And the rods are not right in the center. They're around the periphery. So if you think about going outside at night and looking at the stars, if you just, I really, really, really want to see that star. I saw it. Where did it go? I can't see it now. It's because you're staring right at it, and there's not enough light from that star to fire the cones in your eye, so you can't see it. But if you look off to the side a little bit, then you can see it more clearly. You can't see it in great detail because you're not right in that central focus. I thought, well, this is a great analogy for trying to hit a problem head on, especially one that's, you know, why aren't I better? Why don't I, you know, that sort of thing. If you try to hit it straight on, all you're going to see is more problem. You see the problem, see the problem, see the problem. If you look off to the side or think about something else, and I don't mean distract yourself from your problems necessarily, but pursue other endeavors, do something else, try something else. You can kind of get a perspective, get a chance to see a little more clearly what you might need to do to move forward, get things done, even in the experience of dysthymia, persistent depressive disorder. And so I'm a life coach. I'm on social media because that's how people find me, to be able to say, hey, I might want to coach with Claire. I like her. I resonate with her message. And so I follow other coaches because I like to see what they're up to. I like to see what they do. And I recently saw one that it was a TikTok. Me and TikTok. I don't know where this is going, but we'll see. And her message was sort of like, if you want to create what you want in your life, you're going to have to do things you don't want. You're just going to have to suck it up. Just do it. I'm like, who are you? Who are you to say, just do it to people? Didn't we learn from Nancy Reagan that that's a terrible way to try to manage the human psyche and the brain and the heart and feelings? Just do it. Yeah. You don't feel good. Just do it. It's like saying, oh, you're sad. Just feel better. Come on. There's nothing wrong. You're fine. Why are you? Really? That's it? That's what you got for me? And so I thought, no. That is not my kind of coaching. That just suck it up. Nope. People do come for coaching because they want some structure. Like, I know what I want. I'm all over the place. I don't know how to get it. Just give me some structure. Help me sort this out. And a lot of times they want accountability. I know if I tell you, my coach, Claire, that I will follow through. And there is a lot to be said for that. I, even in my, lifetime of persistent depressive disorder, I'm I'm successful in what I do. I show up for work every day. I was always there for my kids when they were little. I take out the trash. I get shit done. But sometimes it's the deadline that gets me there. Sometimes it's like I've made the promise to somebody other than me, or it's for the greater good of things that are important to me, that that I will show up even if it's not awesome. So some structure, some accountability, and some support. You really should be able to expect from a coach let's figure this out. Let's come at this a new way. Maybe we can think about this in another way. How sustainable is the model, though, if the coach is working with you in a way where the coach is providing the structure and the accountability and the support without also then trying to help you develop those skills yourself? How can you hold yourself accountable? But more importantly, how can you demonstrate self-compassion? How can you show yourself that even if you didn't do that thing that you wanted for yourself, and for me, it shows up in things I've promised myself. I play mandolin. I take lessons. I've got a coach. We call her a music instructor. She's awesome. If you want to learn to play mandolin or any stringed instrument, I've got your gal. And I take lessons so that I hold myself accountable. I don't want to show up and look like I'm not ready. So I practice because I have. But why do I do that? I want to do that. I want to play mandolin. I want to do music. Why do I want to do music? I like it. It makes me feel good. It feels like also one of those things that I wouldn't do if I didn't have this external accountability, which I can pay my coach for that. It's worth it to me. I also take mandolin lessons, not just because I like music and I want to play mandolin. It's good for my brain. It's like, it's keeping my brain lubricated. I've got a bigger why out there. In my value system, the long-term mental acuity and vitality is very important to me. And that's something I can do. I can do that now for me later. And I like it now, but I might not pick up the mandolin if I didn't have a weekly lesson. So I want to offer you today some suggestions for how to manage. If you are somebody who's dealing with persistent depressive disorder, first, self-compassion. Some days are going to be harder than others. It's not your fault. It's like chronic fatigue syndrome. That might be the best analogy. It's something that is real, that does affect you, that some people don't understand at all, that some people tell you to get over. It's not, it's like that. Self-compassion. Take care of yourself. Don't blame yourself for why you aren't better yet, because that staring right at the problem might actually be making it worse. So how can you give yourself some grace? Relax a bit. Not just relax. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying find ease. That's what I mean. Pursue other interests. Show up as you can to the best of your ability. And if you're suffering from depression where you cannot show up like that, you really do need some serious intervention. And so please, get help. But if you are just like moving along, things are okay. You want them to be better. You want to accomplish some things. You want to get some things done. You want to create the next thing. Coaching can help, but make sure that as you're working with a coach, me or anybody, that you're creating the opportunity to be able to hold yourself accountable, or that you have the structure in place to just have those regular check-ins, like me and mandolin. You deserve to be seen for who you are. You don't deserve someone saying, just suck it up. Just do it. You're not going to want to do it anyway. If that works, then great. But if somebody tells you that and you're like, oh no, oh hell no, then maybe they're not seeing you for who you are. You deserve to be seen. That's the whole thing with being a lesbian, right? I mean, we deserve to be seen. And if you look at the research in mental health and the LGBTQ population, mostly we weren't ever studied for a really long time. Come on, talk about invisible. How often have we gone to our doctors and not so much lately, but when I was younger, are you pregnant? No. Are you sure? Yes. How do you know you're not pregnant? Well, no access to genetic material that would cause a baby to happen in my body. It's like, see me, listen to me, look at me, hear me. We all deserve that. You deserve that. So I just want you to know that what you're feeling is legit. You know, you can work with what you've got from where you are. And if someone's just saying, just do it, then maybe that's not resonating with you, that's not working for you, then that is not the person you want to work with. That is a recipe for feeling even worse, I think. Well, it worked. Apparently it must work for some people. Just do it, because then they did it, and then look at them, and I can't do that. So there must be something wrong with me. Nope. I call BS on that. You can have compassion for yourself regardless of what you do. You are not your accomplishments. You are worthy just as you are, and you deserve to be recognized for that. That's what I've got for you today. I invite you to check me out on the socials over on the TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and check out the website, practicalchangecoaching.com. If you're interested in exploring coaching with me, I urge you to set up a call and we'll get to it. Until next time.